Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. How often do you really stop and think about your happiness? I'm not talking about those moments when everything's going right. I'm talking about the days when life's not so perfect, when things are tough, and when challenges are piling up. Now picture this. No matter what life throws at you, you have the ability to stay happy. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that staying happy is not about waiting for the perfect moment? It's not about having it all together. It's about understanding that happiness is a choice you make every single day. And today, right now, you have the power to change the way you think about happiness forever. Stick with me, because what I'm going to share with you isn't just going to boost your mood for a day. It's going to set you up for a lifetime of joy. Happiness is often seen as something that we can achieve once we hit certain milestones in life, getting the dream job, buying the perfect house, or reaching a particular financial goal. But the truth is, happiness isn't a destination or something you get once you reach a specific point in your life. It's a choice, and it's a choice that you can make every single day. We are constantly bombarded by the idea that we will be happy when things fall into place, when everything aligns perfectly. But this kind of thinking keeps us waiting for happiness to come from external circumstances, when the reality is that happiness comes from within. When you begin to realize that happiness is a choice, it changes everything. It means that no matter what happens in your life, whether it's good or bad, you still have the power to choose how you respond to it. Life is unpredictable. It will throw challenges at you that you didn't expect, and some days will feel harder than others. But you have the ability to control your reaction to those challenges. That's where the power lies. It's not about avoiding the tough times or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about understanding that you can still find joy in the middle of life's ups and downs. This choice to be happy doesn't mean you ignore your problems or pretend everything is fine when it's not. It means that despite everything that may be going wrong, you focus on the things that are going right. You choose to focus on the things you can control, and you actively seek out the positives in your life. It's about shifting your perspective. When you make the choice to look for the good in every situation, your mindset changes. You stop seeing obstacles as insurmountable and start seeing them as opportunities for growth. You stop letting setbacks define you, and instead you embrace them as part of the journey toward greater happiness. One of the ways to practice choosing happiness every day is to stop waiting for the perfect moment. So often we tell ourselves that we'll be happy when the circumstances are right, when we have more time, more money, a better job, or a relationship. But waiting for everything to be perfect is a trap. Perfection doesn't exist, and waiting for it will only leave you stuck. Instead of waiting for life to hand you happiness, take it into your own hands. Start finding joy in the small things. Enjoy your morning coffee. Appreciate the beauty around you. Laugh with friends, and take a moment to be grateful for what you have in this very moment. Happiness isn't reserved for a specific time or place. It's available to you now if you choose to see it. Another key aspect of choosing happiness is learning to let go of things you cannot control. We all have moments when life feels overwhelming, when you feel like everything is spiraling out of your control. But here's the thing, there are always things you can't control, and trying to control them only causes stress and anxiety. When you focus your energy on the things you can't change, you lose sight of what you can change. Your attitude, your response, your mindset. Choosing happiness means letting go of the need to control everything and accepting that some things are simply out of your hands. When you embrace this reality, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and open yourself up to the possibility of finding joy even in the most challenging situations. Choosing happiness also means forgiving yourself and others. We all make mistakes, and we all have things we regret. But holding on to past mistakes or grudges only weighs you down. It prevents you from fully embracing happiness in the present. When you choose happiness, you make the conscious decision to let go of the anger, resentment, and guilt that may be holding you back. You give yourself permission to move forward without carrying the burden of the past. Forgiveness is a powerful tool for freeing yourself from negativity and allowing more space for joy in your life. It's important to remember that choosing happiness is not a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. It's not always easy, and there will be days when it feels like everything is working against you. But when you make the choice to focus on what you can control and to appreciate the good in your life, you begin to shift your entire perspective. You stop looking for happiness in external achievements or circumstances and start finding it in the simple, everyday moments that make life beautiful. The beauty of choosing happiness every day is that it gives you the power to take control of your own emotional well-being. You're no longer waiting for the perfect moment or for things to get better. You are actively creating a life that is full of joy, regardless of the challenges you may face. And when you practice this consistently, happiness becomes more than just a fleeting feeling. It becomes a mindset, a way of life. By choosing happiness every single day, you unlock the power to live a life that is filled with more peace, more gratitude, and more joy. So the next time you're facing a challenge or a difficult situation, remember that you have the ability to choose how you respond. You can choose happiness, and in doing so, you can transform your life. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools we have for staying happy. It is easy to get caught up in what we don't have, what we're lacking, or what's going wrong. The world around us can often highlight what's missing or what needs improvement, and this can leave us feeling inadequate or discontent. But when you shift your focus to what you do have, your entire perspective changes. Gratitude has the ability to rewire your brain to focus on abundance rather than scarcity. When you focus on the good things in your life, even the smallest of blessings, it creates a shift in your energy and mindset, bringing more joy and positivity into your world. Think about it. How often do we get stuck on what we don't have yet? We look at others and compare ourselves, thinking that if we only had their success, their relationships, or their lifestyle, then we would be happy. This kind of thinking keeps us trapped in a cycle of dissatisfaction, always reaching for something that feels just out of our grasp. But gratitude teaches us to stop focusing on what's missing and start appreciating what's already in front of us. When we take the time to acknowledge the things we are grateful for, we begin to realize how rich our lives already are, even if it's not in the ways we expected. Gratitude doesn't require us to have everything we want, but it requires us to recognize the value in what we already possess. Maybe it's the simple pleasure of waking up in the morning, the support of a close friend, or the comfort of a home. Maybe it's something as small as a warm meal or a moment of laughter. The beauty of gratitude is that it invites you to find joy in the present moment, regardless of your circumstance. It encourages you to be present and recognize the good that is happening in your life right now instead of waiting for something bigger or better to come along. Start small. Every day, take a moment to reflect on at least 3 things that you are grateful for. It can be anything from the warmth of the sun to the kindness of a stranger. It doesn't have to be grand or life-changing. The key is consistency. The more you practice gratitude, the more you start to see the blessings around you. Over time, it becomes a habit. Your brain starts to automatically search for things to be thankful for, and that in turn makes happiness more accessible. One of the most powerful aspects of gratitude is that it creates a positive feedback loop. The more you focus on the good, the more you attract positivity. Your mindset shifts from one of lack to one of abundance, and you begin to recognize opportunities and joys that were always there, but you may have overlooked before. Gratitude doesn't just change the way you feel, it changes the way you see the world. When you are grateful, you start to see things through a lens of appreciation. And that perspective opens up new avenues of joy. For example, instead of feeling frustrated by a long day at work, you may find yourself grateful for the job itself, the ability to support yourself, and the growth you experience in your career. Gratitude invites a deeper appreciation for the process of life, even the challenges. Another powerful benefit of gratitude is that it connects us with others in a deeper way. When you express your gratitude toward the people in your life, you strengthen those relationships. Gratitude is not only about recognizing the good in your own life, but also about acknowledging and appreciating the people who contribute to it. When you express your thankfulness to others, whether it's through a simple thank you, a handwritten note, or a heartfelt conversation, it deepens your connection with them. These small acts of appreciation can create bonds that bring more happiness into both your life and theirs. Gratitude also helps us shift our focus away from problems and difficulties. Life isn't always easy, and we all face challenges, but when we practice gratitude, we create a buffer against negativity. It doesn't mean we ignore the challenges or pretend everything is perfect. It simply means we don't allow the difficulties to take over our emotional state. Even in the midst of struggles, gratitude allows us to find peace and joy in other areas of our lives. It reminds us that even in our toughest moments, there is always something to be thankful for. In essence, gratitude is a tool that can transform your entire outlook on life. It shifts your mindset from a place of scarcity and lack to one of abundance and fulfillment. By practicing gratitude consistently, you begin to train your mind to seek out the good, to recognize the blessings in your life, and to appreciate the present moment. It is not about ignoring life's challenges or pretending that everything is perfect, but about consciously choosing to focus on what's going right, even when things are tough. Gratitude brings more joy into your life, and in doing so, it sets the foundation for lasting happiness. The more you practice it, the more it becomes ingrained in your mindset, and the more you will see happiness naturally flow into your life. Perfectionism is something that many of us struggle with, often without realizing the negative impact it has on our happiness. We live in a world where we're constantly bombarded with images of success, beauty, and achievement. Social media, advertisements, and even well-meaning friends and family can make us feel like we need to have it all together, like we need to be flawless in every area of our lives. But here's the truth. Perfection is a myth. There is no such thing as being perfect, and chasing it will only leave you feeling exhausted, frustrated, and unsatisfied. The key to staying happy lies in letting go of the need to be perfect and embracing the beauty of imperfection. The pressure to be perfect often leads us to believe that we must meet unrealistic standards to be worthy of love, success, or happiness. We start to tie our self-worth to the idea of perfection, whether it's having the perfect body, the perfect career, or the perfect relationship. We think that if we just reach that ideal version of ourselves, everything will fall into place and we will finally be happy. But that's simply not true. In fact, this constant pursuit of perfection can actually keep us from experiencing true happiness. When we focus solely on trying to meet an impossible standard, we forget to enjoy the journey, and we miss out on the everyday moments that bring real joy. Perfectionism leads to a never-ending cycle of self-criticism and disappointment. No matter how hard we try, we're always left feeling like we could have done better, like we're not enough. This constant internal pressure can create anxiety, stress, and even depression. The truth is, perfection doesn't lead to happiness. It leads to burnout. It keeps you stuck in a loop of not enough, preventing you from appreciating the things you've already accomplished and the person you already are. When we let go of perfectionism, we free ourselves to enjoy life as it is with all of its messiness, flaws, and imperfections. One of the most liberating things you can do for your happiness is to embrace the idea that it's okay to not have everything figured out. Life is not a race to reach some ultimate destination where everything is perfect. In reality, there will always be something to improve upon, something to learn, and something to grow through, and that's okay. The beauty of life lies in its unpredictability, its challenges, and the growth that comes from overcoming them. When you stop striving for perfection, you start to appreciate the process, the small steps, the setbacks, and the triumphs that make up your story. Instead of focusing on the end result, you learn to enjoy the journey, and that's where true happiness lies. Letting go of perfectionism also means learning to accept yourself for who you are, flaws and all. None of us are perfect, and the sooner we realize that, the sooner we can free ourselves from unrealistic expectations. Embracing imperfection means giving yourself permission to make mistakes and learn from them, rather than beating yourself up for not getting everything right the first time. Life is about trial and error, growth and learning, and that's what makes it so meaningful. When we accept our imperfections, we give ourselves the freedom to live authentically and fully. Another important aspect of letting go of perfectionism is learning to forgive yourself. We all make mistakes, sometimes big ones. And it's easy to get caught in the trap of guilt or regret, but holding on to those feelings of self-blame only keeps us stuck. Forgiveness is a powerful act of self-compassion. It's about acknowledging that you're human, that you will make mistakes, and that those mistakes don't define you. When you forgive yourself, you create space for self-love and growth, and you give yourself the permission to move forward with more peace and happiness. When you release the need for perfection, you also create more room for gratitude and joy. You start to appreciate the things that make you unique, your quirks, your talents, your flaws, and the way you navigate the world. You begin to understand that it's not about being flawless, but about being authentic and true to yourself. Happiness doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being real, from accepting yourself just as you are, and from enjoying life in all of its imperfect beauty. In order to embrace imperfection, it helps to shift your perspective. Instead of seeing mistakes or setbacks as failures, view them as opportunities to learn and grow. Every mistake you make is a step forward in your personal journey. Instead of focusing on what you did wrong, think about what you learned from the experience and how you can apply that lesson moving forward. This mindset shift allows you to see challenges as a natural part of life, not something to be feared or avoided. By viewing imperfection as part of the human experience, you can free yourself from the unrealistic expectation that everything must be perfect, and instead begin to embrace the beauty of being imperfectly you. Ultimately, happiness isn't found in the pursuit of perfection. It's found in the acceptance of imperfection. When you let go of the need to be perfect, you open yourself up to a richer, more fulfilling life. You allow yourself to experience joy in the everyday moments, to learn from your mistakes, and to love yourself for exactly who you are. So let go of perfectionism, embrace your flaws, your mistakes, and the unpredictable nature of life. Because when you do, you'll find that happiness was never about being perfect, it was about being real. One of the most crucial components of lasting happiness is taking ownership of your life. This means understanding that you are responsible for your own happiness, your own choices, and the direction your life takes. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming circumstances, people, or situations for our unhappiness. We might say, I'd be happy if I had a better job, or I'd be happy if I were in a different relationship. The truth is, while external factors can certainly impact our happiness, the ultimate responsibility lies within us. Taking ownership of your life means recognizing that the power to create happiness is in your hands, no one else's. This idea may be difficult for some, especially in moments where life feels overwhelming. We're all faced with challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. It's natural to look outside ourselves for solutions, thinking that if our external circumstances changed, our happiness would follow. But this way of thinking can trap us in a cycle of waiting. If we keep thinking that happiness is something that will come to us only when everything is perfect, we're setting ourselves up for a life of frustration and missed opportunities. Instead, we need to shift our thinking and realize that happiness isn't something that happens to us. It's something that we actively create and nurture. Taking ownership of your life means acknowledging that you have the power to shape your reality. It's about understanding that you can control your responses to challenges, your attitude toward difficulties, and the steps you take to improve your situation. When you take responsibility for your happiness, you stop blaming others or waiting for things to change and start looking inward. You start asking yourself, what can I do today to make myself happier? What small change can I make right now to improve my mindset or my circumstances? This doesn't mean that life won't throw challenges at you. In fact, it's the challenges that often shape us and help us grow. But when you take ownership of your life, you stop letting these challenges define you. You start seeing them as opportunities to learn, to grow, and to become stronger. You understand that while you may not be able to control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond. And this response is what determines your happiness. The choices you make in times of difficulty or uncertainty are the ones that ultimately define the quality of your life. Taking ownership also means being accountable for your own well-being. In a world where it's easy to blame others for our struggles or to fall into the habit of feeling like a victim, it's important to recognize that our mental, emotional, and physical health are ours to manage. If we're constantly waiting for someone else to make us happy, we're giving up our power. Happiness is an inside job. It's about finding the things that bring you peace, joy, and fulfillment, and making them a priority in your life. It's about investing time in your personal growth, whether that means learning new skills, developing meaningful relationships, or simply taking care of your body and mind. When you start taking ownership of your life, you also begin to set boundaries that protect your happiness. Boundaries are essential for maintaining a healthy sense of self and ensuring that you're not constantly giving to others at the expense of your own well-being. When you take ownership of your happiness, you realize that it's okay to say no, to protect your time, and to prioritize your needs. This is not about being selfish. It's about understanding that in order to show up fully for others, you need to be in a good place yourself. And sometimes that means stepping back and doing what's best for your own mental and emotional health. Another important aspect of taking ownership is embracing the fact that you can create your own opportunities. Too often, people wait for the right moment to take action, or they think that opportunities will simply come to them. But life doesn't work that way. You have to take proactive steps toward the things you want in life, whether it's building your career, improving your relationships, or finding personal fulfillment. You have to make the choice to go after it. This means taking risks, stepping outside of your comfort zone, and being willing to put in the work. When you take ownership of your life, you stop waiting for someone to hand you success or happiness. You go out and create it yourself. Taking ownership is also about letting go of the need for approval or validation from others. Too often we seek approval from family, friends, or society to feel worthy or happy. But the truth is, your happiness shouldn't be based on what others think of you or how they define success. When you take ownership of your life, you learn to trust yourself and your own decisions. You start to make choices that align with your values, your goals, and your vision for your life, rather than seeking external validation. The more you embrace your own path, the more content and fulfilled you'll feel because you're living authentically and on your own terms. Taking ownership of your happiness is an empowering choice. It gives you the freedom to create a life that reflects who you truly are and what you truly want. Instead of feeling like life is happening to you, you begin to realize that you are the one in control. You're the one who decides how you want to show up in the world. And when you take responsibility for your own happiness, you find that it's not something that's out of your reach. It's something that's already inside you, waiting for you to claim it. The moment you take ownership of your life is the moment you take back your happiness. The importance of surrounding yourself with positive influences cannot be overstated. We are deeply influenced by the people we spend time with, the environments we place ourselves in, and the energy we allow into our lives. If you're constantly around people who drain your energy, focus on negativity, or make you feel less than your best, it can be nearly impossible to maintain happiness. But when you surround yourself with positive, supportive, and uplifting individuals, you create a fertile ground for your own happiness to grow. This is why it's crucial to be intentional about the people and environments you allow to influence your life. Positive people lift you up, help you see the best in yourself, and encourage you to be the best version of yourself. They remind you of your worth, your potential, and your unique strengths. Their energy is infectious, and being around them can inspire you to think more positively, take risks, and pursue your dreams. Whether it's a friend who always encourages you to go after your goals, or a family member who reminds you of your abilities when you're feeling down, these positive relationships play a critical role in your overall sense of happiness. You don't have to be surrounded by a huge group of people, but the ones who matter are the ones who support and uplift you on your journey. However, not all people are like that, and you may find yourself surrounded by negative or toxic influences that only serve to bring you down. Negative people are often quick to point out flaws, criticize, and focus on what's wrong in life. Their constant pessimism can drain you emotionally and mentally. If you're constantly exposed to negative energy, it can become harder to stay positive, even if you naturally have an optimistic outlook. Negative influences can affect your mood, your self-esteem, and your motivation. It's crucial to recognize when these people are taking a toll on your mental well-being and when it's time to distance yourself. This doesn't mean you have to cut people out of your life entirely, but it's about setting healthy boundaries. It's important to protect your mental and emotional space, especially when you're on a path to personal growth and happiness. Sometimes that may mean limiting your time with people who bring negativity into your life, or if necessary, distancing yourself altogether. By doing this, you're giving yourself the space to grow, to focus on your own happiness, and to nurture your relationships with people who genuinely add value to your life. Another way to create a positive environment for yourself is by being mindful of the media you consume. The world is filled with distractions, and much of the information we take in on a daily basis can be negative, overwhelming, or distressing. Whether it's the news, social media, or television shows that focus on drama or conflict, it's easy to fall into a cycle of negativity simply by being exposed to the wrong content. Be conscious of the information you're allowing to shape your mindset. If you find that certain sources of information leave you feeling stressed, anxious, or negative, consider cutting back or choosing alternatives that inspire and uplift you instead. It's also about curating the type of content that helps you grow. This could include following accounts or people who share positivity, personal development advice, or inspiring stories. It could also mean reading books that focus on self-improvement or listening to podcasts that motivate you. The more you fill your life with uplifting content, the more you start to see a shift in your perspective. When you intentionally seek out positive messages and surrounding influences, your mindset and outlook on life begin to change. The more positivity you let in, the more happiness you're able to cultivate for yourself. Creating a positive environment also includes being mindful of your own actions and thoughts. Sometimes we can be our own worst critics, constantly putting ourselves down or focusing on our mistakes. The way you speak to yourself matters. If you want to surround yourself with positivity, you must first start with yourself. Practice self-compassion and be kind to yourself when things don't go as planned. Refrain from harsh self-judgment or beating yourself up for mistakes. Instead, remind yourself that every step you take, every effort you make, brings you closer to the person you want to become. Treat yourself with the same kindness and encouragement that you would give to a close friend. One of the best ways to stay surrounded by positive influences is to actively seek out and nurture relationships with people who inspire you. These are the people who lift you up, who believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself, and who encourage you to chase your dreams without fear. Whether it's friends, mentors, colleagues, or family members, the right people can make all the difference in your life. Surrounding yourself with positive influences doesn't mean you need a crowd, but a small group of people who align with your values, support your goals, and bring out the best in you. Additionally, create an environment in your home, workplace, or any other space where you spend time that promotes positivity. Decorate with things that make you feel good. Keep your space organized and clean, and fill it with objects or memories that bring you joy. The physical space around you has a direct impact on your mental and emotional state. When your surroundings reflect peace, joy, and positivity, it helps create a mindset that is conducive to happiness. Surrounding yourself with positivity is not just about the people or things you choose to engage with, but also about the energy you bring to others. Positive energy is contagious, and by spreading kindness, encouragement, and optimism to others, you not only contribute to their happiness, but also attract more of the same into your life. When you uplift others, you create a ripple effect of joy that comes back to you in unexpected ways. By creating a cycle of positivity and encouragement, you contribute to a happier and more fulfilling life, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. At the end of the day, happiness is often influenced by the environment we create for ourselves. By surrounding yourself with positive influences, setting boundaries with negativity, and choosing to consume uplifting content, you create the foundation for lasting happiness. The people, spaces, and energies you allow into your life shape the way you think and feel. Choose wisely. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools you can use to cultivate happiness. It might sound simple, but the act of recognizing and appreciating the positive aspects of your life, no matter how small, can significantly shift your mindset and improve your overall sense of well-being. In today's fast-pacing world, it's easy to get caught up in what we don't have or what isn't going right. But practicing gratitude helps you focus on what's already good in your life. And believe me, when you start focusing on what you have rather than what you don't, you'll find that happiness is not as elusive as it might seem. When you make gratitude a habit, it's like training your mind to notice the good stuff. We often take things for granted, from the people in our lives to the small, everyday pleasures like a hot cup of coffee in the morning, a kind word from a friend, or the simple fact that you woke up healthy today. These things may seem insignificant in the grand scheme of life, but they are the things that truly contribute to our happiness. Gratitude brings us back to the present moment, allowing us to fully appreciate the blessings that are already here instead of constantly chasing after what we think we need or what we're lacking. One of the most powerful aspects of gratitude is how it shifts your perspective. When you're feeling down or frustrated, it's easy to spiral into negative thinking. You might start to focus on everything that's going wrong, everything you wish were different, and all the obstacles in your way. But when you practice gratitude, you break that cycle. You're forced to stop and think about the things that are going well. This simple shift in focus can completely change how you feel in that moment. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by everything that's not working out, you start to realize just how much you have to be thankful for. And that realization brings a sense of peace and contentment. Gratitude isn't just about acknowledging the big milestones or accomplishments. It's about finding the good in the ordinary, everyday moments. For example, instead of looking at a challenging day at work as a negative experience, try to find something positive in it. Maybe you learned something new, maybe you helped someone, or maybe you had a moment of connection with a colleague. These little victories can be just as important as the big achievements. When you focus on these smaller moments of joy and growth, you start to see that happiness is not about waiting for the big moments. It's about finding joy in the small things that fill your day. Moreover, practicing gratitude helps you become more mindful. You begin to pay attention to the little things in your life that often go unnoticed. And that awareness alone brings a sense of fulfillment. The beauty of nature, the laughter of a child, the comfort of your favorite blanket. These small things become a source of joy when you make a conscious effort to notice them. Mindfulness and gratitude go hand in hand, because when you are present and aware, you open yourself up to a deeper appreciation for everything around you. Another powerful aspect of gratitude is that it improves relationships. When you express appreciation for others, whether it's a family member, friend, or colleague, you not only strengthen your bond with them, but you also contribute to their happiness. Gratitude is a two-way street. It's not just about what you receive, but also about what you give. A simple thank you or a thoughtful gesture can go a long way in making others feel valued and loved. And in turn, you'll feel the joy of knowing you've made someone else's day a little brighter. When you practice gratitude, you not only feel happier, but also contribute to creating a more positive and loving environment around you. Furthermore, gratitude can significantly improve your mental and physical health. Studies have shown that people who regularly practice gratitude have lower levels of stress and depression. This is because gratitude encourages a more positive mindset, reducing the impact of negative thoughts and emotions. It helps you manage difficult situations with more resilience and optimism. Physically, the effects of gratitude are just as profound. It has been linked to better sleep, improved immune function, and lower blood pressure. When you focus on the positive, your mind and body respond in ways that promote overall well-being. It's also important to note that gratitude is a practice, not a one-time thing. It's something you have to work at, especially when times are tough. There will be moments in life when it feels difficult to find something to be thankful for, but this is exactly when gratitude is most needed. In those moments, taking a step back and looking for even the smallest things to appreciate can make all the difference. Perhaps you're grateful for a supportive friend, a roof over your head, or the opportunity to learn from a tough experience. Even in the darkest moments, there's always something to be thankful for. And it's in those moments that gratitude has the power to truly transform your mindset. Gratitude can also lead to a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment. When you start to appreciate what you have, you become more content with your life as it is, rather than constantly seeking happiness in what's next. You stop measuring your success or happiness against others and start defining it on your own terms. Gratitude teaches you to be thankful for where you are in your journey, which in turn helps you stay grounded and focused on what truly matters. It frees you from the trap of comparison and allows you to appreciate the unique path you are on. Lastly, gratitude is a choice. It's not something that just happens to you. It's something you actively choose every day. No matter what's going on in your life, you have the power to focus on what's good. Life isn't always easy and it's not always fair, but choosing to practice gratitude can make all the difference in how you experience it. When you start to see life through a lens of gratitude, you'll realize that happiness isn't a destination. It's something you create every single day through your mindset, your actions, and your ability to appreciate the present moment. In the end, gratitude is a simple but profound practice that can bring lasting happiness into your life. When you start focusing on the things you have rather than what you lack, your entire perspective shifts. You begin to feel more content, more at peace, and more connected to the world around you. By practicing gratitude, you not only improve your own life, but also contribute to the happiness and well-being of those around you. The more you make gratitude a part of your daily life, the more joy, fulfillment, and happiness you'll experience.